Welcome to
Okay.
another We Are the Seeds interview. My name is Zachariah Julian. I'm from the Hickory Apache Nation, and I got an awesome, inspiring guest today. Please introduce yourselves.
Ja, you guys. Hello, hello. Ja, shit, honey, and shit. Got this on the English. Ginny a bushish team. My dish, gishni dash che. Hello, you guys. My name is Honey, Voice of Honey, whatever you guys prefer. Voice of Honey or Honey. I'm an inspirational advocate, R&B artist from the Dene Nation, Blue Gap, Arizona, but I reside in Salt Lake City. So we're here having a good time. It's super hot outside and super hot inside, and super hot all over there.
I'm so excited to finally talk to you. We kept missing each other. I've known you for years now, and I've always enjoyed how our paths have crossed through both of our careers. So tell me, what inspired you to become the artist that you are, to be inspiring, to lead, to give back more than you take, which is always very important.
Well, first of all, my apologies for being so clustery.
No, no.
I'm a cluster, but hey, we made it. So I'd say, hmm, I'd say at first because there's time frames of how things happen and why things happen. So I'd say when everything first started, I was in junior high. I was in the choir class, and I was like junior high, high school. I was the only minority in all my choir
Wow.
classes. That was really tough for me. I think my mom was the person that really pushed me through all of that, which was great. And through the process, my parents were always like, hey, don't forget, give back to your people. Hey, don't forget, make time for yourself and make time for your people. So I think growing up being multi-ethnic, it really played a big role in my life to figure out who needs help, when we need help, and how we can help. I noticed that when I was growing up, my Native American side was more prominent in my life than my dad's side of my family tree. But they're both really great. They taught me a whole bunch. But I think when I was growing up into high school at the community college, because I went to school at Salt Lake Community College here in Salt Lake, um, I was almost once again the only minority in the class. There's maybe two of us this time. So while I was going through that and understanding who am I and where I'm at, I started to really pay attention to where I was at the moment. And I had just come home from the reservation. I was in school on the reservation for a long time. And while I was down there, I really, really looked deep inside, and I understood the appreciation of where we come from and who we are and why we experience the things that we did. So I would always tell my mom, yo, mom, I want to build like a recreation center on the reservation because there's nothing there. Or we could have like a recreational center with a laundromat on the side. Or we could have like a Piccadilly stand on the side of the recreational center that's on the side of the laundromat that's on side of everything. So I started to, I guess what we can call it now is dream. I would dream with my mom all the time, and she would say, I could handle your finances. And I'm like, yeah, because you're an accountant. So I think that's where it really started is I've seen how, I'm going to say this word and I mean it in the most positive way, how fortunate I was to be able to grow up on the reservation, go to school on the reservation, understand me as an individual with two different lifestyles that I live, knowing that I went through all of that, understanding of what I was seeing and understanding what I was feeling. I always wanted to give back. And when I finally got the moment to perform in places where we came from, oh my God, it was so awesome. And it just kind of fueled the fire a lot more. Just seeing kids like when I was that small, seeing kids like how I was experiencing life. Some of us, no running water, no electricity, no TV, no radio, nothing like that. I can see that when I'm performing. I can see it, and I'm told those things from the kids. So breaking all of that down from the tree to the beginning, to the tree to the middle, all the way to the end, I'd say seeing it, experiencing it myself, experiencing the struggle, experiencing my Native American culture, my Native American traditions, and everything like that. I think that's what really fueled the fire.
Mhm.
And now today, 2020, I know that we're all struggling here and there. I know that on the reservation, there's a lot more struggles than there is here in the city. So while I'm out there, I'm traveling, I'm out there delivering supplies. I can see it. I can feel what people are going through. And I think energy is the biggest thing that we can all kind of understand together, no matter what culture we are, no matter what ethnicity, no matter what tribe, it's the energy. And when you can feel it and you know how you can fix it or how you can make it a little bit better, that's what fuels my fire. I can see it, I can feel it, and it feels good. Some days it's a little rough, but I know that people like you and I, or people like the people in our lives, we're capable of helping the struggle. So that's really what fuels my fire, seeing it, feeling it, and experiencing it through life.
Yes, that's beautifully well said. As I'm just getting older, like I'm getting ready to enter my 40s. It truly is a full circle, because I grew up on the reservation, and I left. I've been gone for about 20 years, but I do go back, and seeing both worlds and trying to combine them, as an artist, as an individual, through the art. You it's a filter, like, well, who am I? You know, where do I put my eggs? You know, it's very interesting, and I've always enjoyed talking to you, because you're always positive. You always have that energy, and I'm the complete opposite of you. I'm like, I go to bed at 4 a.m. It's 2 p.m, and I'm like, I need a nap. But God, you're ready to go, and it's very motivating. It's very inspiring. So thank you.
Man, we don't sleep over here. We don't sleep at all. I go to bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then maybe I'm up by 9, maybe I'm up by 8. At the latest, I get up by 11, and then I'm like, I think I'm ready for the day. But the energy, man, like we got to have that energy for other people, not just for ourselves, but for other people as well.
That's true. That's true. I really like your music. I was listening to some of your music over the week to kind of like get to know you again, and seeing the stuff that you do, the dancing. Where did that come from? When did you start dancing?
Ooh, dancing, we're referring to powwow dancing. So when I was younger, my mom would always bring me out to the powwows, and I'm like, I totally want to be that.
Yeah.
I want to be the fancy dancer. I have the energy for it. Like, why can't I just do that? So my mom started to make me outfits, and I don't know if I know that you and I have been to powwows, but anybody out there listening, I don't know if anybody's been to a powwow, but there's like a particular design. There's a particular way that you have to hold yourself. And at that time when I was younger, I didn't have that quite yet. And now that I'm older, now that we're talking about it, I'm really thinking about it. And I start to understand, like, no matter where you go, there's always expectations, or there's a particular way things are done. So with the powwow, I think I started maybe when I was in junior high. I guess I wanted a place to fit in. Like you were stating, being multi-ethnic, you're kind of just trying to figure, your feelers are out there trying to figure out where you fit in. I wanted to fit in there. And when I want to fit in somewhere, there is no going back. I'm going all the way in, full feet involved. So I started to make the outfits with my mom, and I noticed they were really different. The designs that we had, I had feathers, people had jagged edges. I had colors that matched with colors, and people had colors that didn't match with colors. So I think trying to understand that, it had me really confused, like confused expectation-wise at a young age, having expectations like we have no idea what we're doing. So I started to dance a little dance, and I started to get the feeling that I still didn't belong, even though I'm Native American. Sometimes we still don't fit in, even if we're at a Native American sort of thing, we still don't fit in. And I say we as two ethnicities from both different places. So, excuse me. As I was growing up, I started to practice more. I started to get involved with teaching the kids, and I experienced, even as a teenager, as an adult, I still felt as if I didn't fit in. So I would compliment, hey, you're so awesome. Oh my God, I love your outfit and the way that you dance. And I remember this one day I was telling somebody that, and they looked at me with this stink face, and they said, oh, thanks. So ever since that moment, I didn't want to be like that. Since that moment, I realized I'm not going to be that. So I think that was when I became a woman category. I would throw up all the time. I'd be really sick. I'd be like, why do I feel like this? And other people don't feel like this. And I think my two cultures were battling each other. I think they were battling each other, trying to like figure out who's going to be more prominent than the other. And within me, going through the powwow and understanding the different sides of myself, I started to understand there's a place for both grounds. You can have the moments where you both can be together at the same time. So I stopped competing. I stopped dancing for the money. I stopped dancing for the monetary gifts and all of that. I stopped doing that. And when I stopped doing that, I really found out who I was. I started to dance for people that were sick, people that weren't feeling well, people that were struggling mentally, struggling emotionally. I started to dance for those people. And when I started to do that, I really got like a warm feeling over me. Like, that's where I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm in a powwow scene. You're not supposed to dance for like monetary. That's for like a performance or a job like that. But if you're at a scene where it's Native American powwow, where it's a gathering, all of us together chilling, like, I think that's for healing. Like, that's what I should understand it as. So now that I'm an adult, I do not contest. That is a no-no for me. But I do performances. Like, at some point in time, these are my jobs that I do, and sometimes I involve these things. So at the end of the powwow scene, of the competition, of the finding who I am, what you are, how you do, when you do, and why you do it, I really started to understand that I'm like what's the word? Like an inspirer. I'm not trying to go out there and motivate. I'm trying to go out there and inspire somebody. So while I'm doing that as an adult, I'm inspiring other people. Like, there's little kids out there that come and hang on to my hand while we're out there powwow dancing in a circle for an intertribal. Like, that's where I wanted to be. That's what I wanted from all of that powwowing, all of the contests, monetary gifts, specials, head woman, head man, whatever. That's, at the end of the day, that's what I do it for. The powwow scene, I do it for the kids. I do it because I love it. I do it because there's somebody watching out there, whether it be a 10 billion year old individual or somebody that's barely being born. Like, there's somebody out there we can inspire. Why not be? It's me.
That's well said. Again, that's great. I follow you on the socials, and I see you at schools talking. It's very important. Not everybody's going to listen, but the ones that listen, those are the ones that change things. Those are the ones that say, "Hey, she's talking. Let's listen." And yeah, it's very inspiring. So with your education, I see that you're studying a lot these days. How has that changed your music?
How has education changed?
Like, when I went to a studio last year, it was a pretty high-end studio, and I realized a lot about my music and who I was. And I realized I wasn't ready. I was ready mentally, but musically, I wasn't ready. And I quickly raised that bar. And seeing you're surrounded by all this amazing technology and intelligence, these people who know their craft. How has that adjusted you? How has that changed your outlook?
I'd say being outside of school has really molded where I want to, what I want to do outside of school. In school, I'm just going to put it like this. In school, there's a lot of people learning at the same time. You got like 40 to 70 kids in one sitting trying to learn the same thing that you're learning. There's not much time. There's not a lot of time for every individual to ask a million questions. Why is this? Who is that? Why are we doing it? Like, there's not that much time. So I'd say, how has school affected or benefited me? I know that things have to be done fast, school-wise. I know that things have to be done right, school-wise. You have to have it done right. You have to know what you're doing. There is no time to ask questions, but I do know that outside of school, there's a setting outside of school where I can come and record. Shout out to my friend, Ken Kirkenberg. It's been really, what's the word? It's been very calming. Calming is a good word for it. Not so hectic. There's a studio outside of school that I'm capable of coming to learn to get hands-on more. But in school, you don't get the hands-on as much. But being in the school setting has really taught me business. You got to be a business person. At the end of the day, there's no friendships, there's business. With recording hands-on, it's helped me to mix better. Knowing the standards for the music industry, because I'm a digital media major with a minor in musical technology. I'm getting my bachelor's at community college with my associates in music technology. So it's a lot of the standard for the industry. When you're outside of the studio, there's not as many standards pertaining to the music industry, but I think school is making you more towards the music recording industry, whereas outside of school, I'm capable of just learning what I like to learn, where I like to learn, and how I want it done. So, yeah, it's taught me there's no patience. There's no time to really dig deep. There's time, but not that time for you to dig deep. That time is for outside of school.
Yeah, I think about all my music teachers. I had my piano teacher was from Juilliard, and I remember everything she told me, all the good, all the bad. And it isn't until it's been about 6 years since I've been in school, and now I'm starting to understand what she's saying. Now I'm like, oh, it was right in front of my face. I just wasn't ready. That's beautiful. I'm so happy and excited for you. That's amazing.
Thank you. With the community college scene, I feel, and this is just my feelers, anybody can disagree. I feel as if a community college for music, you have to be deep into a program. Like now that I'm at a university, I'm not able to get into the super hard hands-on classes until I prove that I know what I'm doing. So I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot more. I'm sure I'm going to learn tons. I think what plays a big part is where I'm from. I know that both sides of my family, we come from a struggle location. So I think being brought into a high standard university, it's brought my standards up very high. So when I'm saying I don't understand, I don't think they know that I don't understand. I think that they get an idea that I don't understand, but when I really mean I don't understand, I really mean I don't understand. So I think that's where ethnic background, ethnic culture, and traditions sort of play into it just a little bit. Yeah, that's my biggest struggle right now. It's trying to help them understand that I don't come from the same place that most people come from in here and here. So yeah, school. Yeah, sorry my rant, but I think culture, ethnic background, and location of where you're brought up, like that plays a big part with learning anything.
It's very true. That's yes. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up the interview. I have one more question for you. What would you say to young Native artists who are coming in, especially a male dominant? I mean, you've done an amazing job with your unique voice, with your unique talent. And what advice do you have for these young adults who soon will be adults coming into the field?
To our young adults out there, try everything, ask questions, and express yourself to the fullest. People are not going to understand who you are and why you do what you do unless you explain to them who you are and why you do what you do. Same goes for the opposite side. If somebody wants you to learn something, they're going to explain to you in detail, like, this is what you're going to do, this is why you're going to do it, and here's the outcome of what you're going to do. In that same sense, express yourself. Teach people how to treat you. Teach them how to talk to you. Teach them how to be around you. Teach them how to touch you. Teach them. People do not know unless you teach them. If you're passionate about something, express it from the beginning. I am so passionate about this. Please understand that I'm not being rude. Please understand that I'm just very, very passionate. So with all of that I just said, express yourself best to the fullest. Express yourself. Teach people how to treat you. Give yourself some time to love yourself first. In order to love anybody else or give anybody else all of these beautiful things that you're capable of doing, you have to love yourself first. That's the very first and the last thing that you're going to do at the end of the day is love yourself. If you do not love yourself as much as you feel you should, there's going to be some things that are going to go wrong within the journey. Like maybe you trip on your shoelace, or maybe a plan doesn't go according to what you thought. Love yourself first. Give yourself time to plan things out. Give yourself time to really think about, is this what I want to do? Where is it going to go? How am I going to make it plausible. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. Express yourself, give yourself time, give yourself love, and teach people how to treat you.
Again, well said. Awesome. Please share some where people can find you on the socials, your website. I'll go ahead and put some details in the YouTube video as well, where they can find you. But please.
www.voiceofhoney.com. www.youtube.com/thevoiceofhoney. The Voice of Honey. That's the only one that's The Voice of Honey is my YouTube page. Everything else is Voice of Honey. Instagram, Voice of Honey. Facebook, Voice of Honey. Snapchat, Voice of Honey. Twitter, Voice of Honey. And last but not least, the website that I explained earlier, www.voiceofhoney.com.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, honey. I hope to see you on the road again soon. Yeah.
We will cross paths again. Thank
Yes.
you, man. Let me give my thanks to you first. Thank you for being so patient with me. I definitely need an assistant. Thank you for being, man, thank you for being so kind. Oh my God, kind, you're patient, you're caring, like I can feel it. You care about what you do, you care about what you say. Thank you, man. Thank you. This can't happen without you, and you made it happen.
Well, thank you. You're very kind. You have a good day, yeah?